अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, हाउ आर यू ऑल? आज हमारे साथ उस्मान गनी मौजूद हैं. ही इज़ द CEO एंड co-founder ऑफ द वर्किंग टाउन. ही हैज़ मोर देन 20 प्लस ईयर्स ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस. इसके अलावा उस्मान अपना इंट्रोडक्शन आप खुद बाकी करवाएंगे. जी
Yeah,
उस्मान.
sure. So I am Usman. I am having around 20 year of ERP experience and around 15 year of SAP experience. I served in corporates for 19 year, and back in 2023, I resigned from my corporate job and set up this startup with the name The Working Town. And we are providing SAP integration services to B2B SaaS startups. And our company right now is set up in three countries: Pakistan, UAE, and USA.
बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया. सो टुडे आवर टॉपिक इज ब्रेकिंग बैरियर्स लेसन्स रेजिलियंस फॉर ग्लोबल फाउंडर्स. सबसे पहले उस्मान के पास एक प्रेजेंटेशन भी है. फॉर दिस विल जस्ट ऐड दैट टू द स्टेज. एंड उस्मान, whenever you are ready we can start with this, and साथ साथ जो भी questions और queries आएंगी we'll let you know.
Sure, I am ready.
बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया. Start.
Okay. So I hope you all will learn something from this presentation. The main focus of this presentation is to share with you my journey as a startup and the challenges I faced and how I overcome those challenges. So moving forward, once I use this word that breaking barrier and lesson in resilience, I think being a startup, we all know that we all have to face failure at some stage, might be at the early stage or might be later on. So that is why I use this word resilience, because that is, you can say, one of my favorite word, and I really learned a lot from this thing. And being a Pakistani, I think we people are very much know that what exactly the resilience is. Facing so many challenges day and nights, every morning you wake up with a new challenge, and even then we all are moving ahead and gaining momentum out of this. So that's what I want to share with you, and I hope if you have any questions that you can ask, and we can definitely make it more interactive. So starting from मैं अगर आपको अपनी जर्नी से स्टार्ट में बताऊं, actually from before the working town, I initially set up another startup, invest everything there, and then lose everything overnight. और वो चीज़ एक मेरे लिए बिल्कुल एक फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस था कि मैंने एक बड़े शौक से स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट किया, उसको बड़े अच्छे तरीके से बिल्ड किया, एंड ओवरनाइट एवरीथिंग वाज डाउन टू ड्रेन. And that thing actually let me think a lot that okay, failure भी फेस हो सकता है, और अगर आप स्टार्ट में ही आपको फेलियर फेस हो जाए तो हाउ यू हैव टू. सो बेसिकली what exactly happened, if I talk about, I actually call it a successful failure. I am very passionate about traveling. I am very passionate about moving all over the Pakistan. So I set up a company with the name Adventure Diaries back in January 2020, and that is my passion. So I really love that concept. And within 3 months, we gain great momentum. We have great sales pipeline. We have set up a great office. We built a great team. So everything was working for me perfectly. And after 3 months in March 2020, the COVID came out of syllabus. So the world stopped. So are my dreams. So eventually COVID की वजह से आपको पता है सबसे ज्यादा जो चीज हिट हुई थी वो हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री ही हिट हुई.
इंडस्ट्री हुई
वहाँ
थी.
पे वो ऑफिस और एवरीथिंग, मैंने अपनी 17 साल की जॉब के बाद जो सारी इन्वेस्टमेंट थी वो इस स्टार्टअप पे डाली, और उसके अंदर बड़ी अर्ली सक्सेस हमें मिल भी गई, लेकिन eventually out of no way we have to face this failure. But I call it a successful failure because I learned a lot from this experience, and that actually give me more positive vibes. And I know that okay, how a company can be set up from the scratch, what type of challenges you face. So those learning were actually the stepping stone for me. So moving forward, from the ashes of failure, I created the working town. So eventually, I have to join my job again, because at that time there was nothing else that I can do. So मैंने again 2 साल job की. Then again in 2023, I resigned from my job and set up this company with the name The Working Town. And this company is now operates in three countries: USA, UAE, and Pakistan. And this time my approach was a little bit different. I didn't follow my passion, I actually follow my experience. So I have 15 year of experience in SAP. So I built this company on the SAP vertical, that we are providing SAP integration services to B2B SaaS startups. So moving forward, the leap from $100 to 100K clients. So initially our first deals was of $100. Once we started this journey, जो पहला client हमारे पास आया वो $100 का एक project था जिसके ऊपर हमने काम start किया. And moving forward, we moved towards $5,000 dollar deal, then 10,000, 25,000. Now, Alhamdulillah, from this year onward, we are now getting 100K deals from the clients. सो मैं अगर किसी भी स्टार्टअप की बात करूं तो स्टार्टअप ऑलवेज बी मेसी इन द स्टार्ट. इनिशियली जब हमने इस चीज़ को स्टार्ट किया तो एक 1 बेडरूम फ्लैट था जिसके अंदर हमने इस स्टार्टअप की फाउंडेशन रखी, और एक ही एम्प्लॉय था, वो मैं था जिसने इसको स्टार्ट किया. देन मूविंग फॉरवर्ड वी ऐड मोर एम्प्लॉयज एंड eventually make it a global company, and now we have clients from 26 different countries, and our company set up in operating in 3 different countries right now. सो मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, अगर आप चैलेंजेस की बात करें, आई थिंक दीज टाइप ऑफ चैलेंजेस यू ऑल आर फेसिंग एट योर साइड एज वेल. सो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चैलेंजेस होते हैं जो आई थिंक एवरी स्टार्टअप को फेस करने ही पड़े होते हैं. सबसे पहला जो चैलेंज होता है वो सेल्फ डाउट का होता है. डेफिनेटली आई वॉज अर्निंग ए वेरी हैंडसम सैलरी, और मैंने उस हैंडसम सैलरी को छोड़ा, एक स्टार्टअप और मैसी वर्ल्ड के अंदर कदम रखा. तो कई दफ़ा ऐसा टाइम भी आया कि आई स्टार्ट हैविंग सेल्फ डाउट कि यार ये क्या मेरा ये डिसीजन ठीक भी था. एक अच्छा भला मुझे मंथली पे चेक मिल रहा है और एक स्टेबल जॉब है और ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ पर्क्स आई एम गेटिंग फ्रॉम कॉर्पोरेट्स, and out of nowhere I jump into a chaos and everything is now messy for me. So those type of self doubts you always came across in your startup journey, so many stages where you have those type of self doubts. Then the second biggest challenge as a startup founder, you always have to face that you have to navigate alone. There initially there was no mentors, there was no roadmap. I was not sure what exactly I have to do and how I have to overcome those challenges. So that was definitely very tough once you have to navigate alone, and definitely you have to carry the burden of your employees as well as family back at home. So those things are definitely tough for, and that was one of the biggest challenges I was facing at that time. Then moving forward, the third challenge, if we talk about the next challenge, it was like you have to learn sales, because initially once I started this journey, I was very good in tech. I know how to code, I know how to learn but I know very less about sales thing. So that was one of the challenge I faced, that okay, being good in tech is not going to resolve all the issue. You need to learn sale as well. And I think ये सब आप लोगों के साथ भी ये challenges आएंगे कि जब आप एक startup start करते हैं तो सबसे बड़ी और important चीज़ होती है कि how you can bring sales. So if you eventually couldn't be able to bring sales and revenues, ultimately, however, how much good your product or services company is, your startup is going to be a stop at any stage. Because agar sales are here, then eventually you can run your startup, you can scale your startup. If there is no sales, no revenue, definitely you are going to face those challenges, and ultimately you feel that okay, now right now I am facing the heat. So that type of challenge I also face, and I eventually have to learn that sales thing as well. Then the credibility gap, definitely once you are sitting in Pakistan and you want to work with global clients, and they always ask you so many questions, that what exactly is your credibility, how you can resolve those things. So those type of credibility gaps I also faced during my journey as well. And then definitely the hard choices you have to make, the weak positioning also they definitely provide you. Because initially once I start this journey, I try to sell everything to everyone. I said that okay, we are SAP experts, let's try to sell SAP training, let's try to sell SAP implementation, let's try to sell SAP migration as well. But eventually I realized that if you have to create your differentiation, then definitely you need to sell something specific to someone rather than going to sell everything to everyone. So I there actually pivot my journey. I realized that okay, rather than selling all SAP services, let's focus on integration side and make that your differential, and that really help us to move forward. So moving forward, so now there are some lessons that help me navigate those challenges. Number one is that be your first investor. So if you are not convinced about yourself, eventually, I think the presentation somehow gone. I hope you can listen me. Okay, so it's I think now back. So, first thing is that be your first investor, because if you are not going to convince yourself that you are doing something good and you can eventually reach to your destination, nobody else going to invest on you and listen to your vision. So you need to bootstrap initially, invest whatever you have and build something so that you can convince others that okay, I have built this journey, I am now at this stage and I can scale up with your investment as well. Then definitely anyone else will come and invest with yourself. Number two important lesson I have learned is positioning. If you try to sell everything to everyone, definitely it is not going to work for you. बिकॉज होता क्या है, जिस तरह अगर आप कहते हैं कि जी मैं प्रोग्रामिंग करता हूँ और मैं प्रोग्रामिंग में हर किस्म की प्रोग्रामिंग के ऊपर क्लाइंट्स को सेल करना स्टार्ट कर देता हूँ कि लाइक आई कैन डू डॉट नेट, आई कैन डू नोड जेएस, आई कैन डू पाइथन. सो इवेंचुअली होता क्या है कि मार्केट में ऑलरेडी वो सर्विसेज बहुत से लोग दे रहे होंगे. तो आप लोगों आपका कोई डिफरेंशियल जब तक क्रिएट नहीं होता, जब तक आपका एक यूनिक सेलिंग पॉइंट अवेलेबल नहीं होता, और जितनी आप अपनी पोजीशनिंग को नैरो डाउन करते हो उतनी इवेंचुअली आपकी सक्सेस और ब्रांड की रिकग्निशन जल्दी होती है. तो दैट वाज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन आई लर्न के रादर देन एक्सपेंडिंग योर वर्टिकल, let's narrow it down and just work on one vertical and build your brand like a way that everyone in the market know that okay, if we are talking about SAP integration, then the working town is the only company who is providing these services. So that actually lesson helped me a lot to scale my journey. Then next is definitely sales thing. Definitely like once you know that okay, if you don't learn the sales, then definitely your startup is not going to move forward. So by any mean, I think the number one skill you need to learn is that how to network, how to build trust, how to sales. So if you can't learn this trait, that how you are going to sell and bring revenue in your company, ultimately how good you are, whatever you are doing, it's not going to work in your favor. Ultimately you will face those struggle where you will be having cash flows issues, and eventually the company will stop moving, and you face payroll issues, you face scaling issues. So for that you need to learn that okay, technical strength is definitely one thing, but sales skill is more important than technical skill once you are moving this startup at the global stage. So then moving forward, you need to understand that you are unique. You don't need to follow anyone else path. नॉर्मली पाकिस्तान में होता क्या है कि हमें एक सक्सेस स्टोरी नजर आती है और हम कहते हैं यार बस इस सक्सेस स्टोरी का जो प्ले बुक है उसी को हम फॉलो करते हैं, और वो जो कर रहा है वही हम करते हैं. तो एक भीड़ चार वाला जो हम कंसेप्ट ले आते हैं कि यार ओके, अगर एमबीए चल रहा है तो सब लोग एमबीए करते हैं, आईटी चल रहा है तो एवरीवन स्टार्ट डूइंग आईटी थिंग. सो ये चीज़ आपको रियलाइज करनी पड़ेगी कि दैट यू आर यूनिक, you have your own strength. So you need to figure it out that what you are good at, what you need to sell, rather than try to follow anyone else path. कि, okay, that person is doing this thing and he's able to sell that thing, so I should also start doing that. So that was one thing that I realized that this is not going to work in my favor. So I try to build this company based on my experience, my uniqueness, my strengths, and that really helped me to make things work for me. Then prove before you ask. So it is also one of the major lesson I learned, that initially we all think that okay, we will go to some investor, ask him that okay, we have some idea, let's invest on this idea. but this type of things not going to work in real world, especially if you want to build your global clientage or your global brand. Because whenever you talk to someone, they always ask that, okay, prove us what exactly you achieve. Just because you have a good idea doesn't mean that people start believing on you, people start investing on you. So people will always ask and see what exactly the credibility you bring up. So for that, you need to prove that, okay, I have an idea, I implemented it, I got clients out of it, I generated revenue. So that thing actually give them a lot of confidence that you are not just talking, you are also executing and proving that you can do it. Another lesson that I learned is that the focus is very important, because daily in our life we face so many distractions. We start with another idea, eventually after a month another friends came and say that, okay, I think we have another good idea, so rather than working on that idea, let's start moving towards the other idea. So those type of distraction going to keep you away from your focus, and definitely then eventually you couldn't be able to scale up your company as well. So it's very important that you remain focused. You need to understand and you need to write it down daily, on daily basis, and keep reminding yourself that what exactly you want to do, how, why you started this journey, what exactly you want to achieve. Are you are doing those things that ultimately going you towards that goal, or you are just wasting time in distractions, and every day you come up with a new idea, you start working on another thing. So that thing actually taking you away from your goal rather than taking you near to your goal. Then cut to scale is another important thing, that growth is not about adding, it's about eliminating distractions. सो रादर देन आप शुरू में ही सोचें कि मैं ये भी कर लेता हूँ, ये भी कर लेता हूँ, हर चीज़ को करने के बजाय थोड़ा सा उसको आप अगर जितना नैरो डाउन करें और कट करें कि यार ओके, आई हैव इन माय माइंड दैट ओके आई कैन ऐड 10-20 वर्टिकल्स इन दिस कंपनी, but let's start with one, then move to second, then move to third. So rather than scaling up right from the start, first cut it down, make it as narrow as possible. And once you build your strength there, once you prove your credibility and generate revenue out of them, then you can think about to scale it up further. So moving ahead, so how you can break barriers too. So if I can do it, you can also do it. The most important thing is that you need to have the right mindset, the right platform, and the right problem. This is how you can win. So always own your journey. Your journey is your strongest asset, and only you know what exactly is your journey and what exactly is your strength. Nobody else can come and let you know that okay, you need to do this. सो मैं हमेशा ये कहता हूँ कि आपको डेली के बेस के ऊपर बहुत से मोटिवेटर्स भी मिलते हैं, मेंटोर्स भी मिलते हैं, एंड दे ऑलवेज ट्राई टू टेल यू दैट हाउ दे एग्जैक्टली बी सक्सेसफुल, और इवन आई एम शेयरिंग विद यू माई जर्नी, बट इट्स नॉट true for everyone that you also have to follow me exactly whatever way I tried it. So you need to understand your strength, that what exactly is your story, what exactly is your strength, and build your journey based on those, rather than listening to someone else and inspired by someone else and start doing that thing which might be not your strength, which might be your weakness that you are trying to work a lot. So once you start working on your strength, you eventually get successful a lot faster than you start working on your weakness, and eventually it will take a longer journey for you. Then a second important thing is that you need to understand that resilience always beat perfection. So your first business might fail, your second might too, but that's normal. In startup world, you need to understand. And honestly speaking, I was in USA 2 months back, and from there I have a lot of conversations, and I learned one thing from them, that they are actually ready to fail fast. So that ecosystem actually really let me learn a lot from them, and I realized that failure is a good thing, failure is not a bad thing. Some how in our society, in our ecosystem, it is a taboo that if I failed, पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा, दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी. But honestly speaking, जो कंपनीज जो स्टार्टअप स्केल अप कर रहे हैं, यूनिकॉर्न बनने जा रहे हैं, उन सब की अगर आप जर्नी देखें तो आपको नजर आएगा कि दे ऑलवेज चूज टू फेल फास्ट। अब यूएस के अंदर जो इकोसिस्टम है वहां पे वो यही कह रहे होते हैं कि आप फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स में अपने आइडिया को वैलिडेट करें, और अगर आपको समझ आ रही है कि वो आइडिया वैलिडेट नहीं हुआ, माइट बी यू थिंक इट्स अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल प्रोडक्ट, बट eventually once you go to market and try to validate that idea, the market didn't respond to your idea. So you need to pivot, you need to understand this idea is not going to work, I need to change my plan. So it is very important, rather than you spend 2 years on an idea and after 2 years you make a perfect product out of it and then go to market, and then you realize, oh, it's not a market fit product. So eventually you wasted your 2 years, and that actually also come up with a lot of financial loss at your side as well. So जितनी जल्दी आप फेल हो सकते हैं उतना ही आपके लिए बेहतर है, क्योंकि उसमें आपको फिनेंशियल लॉस भी कम होगा और आपकी एनर्जी और टाइम भी कम वेस्ट होगा. And after 3 months, if you got that failure, you have another 9 months out of that year, so you can again pivot your idea, see what exactly is the market fit product, and you can work on that thing. And third thing is build global credibility. So it is very important. Once I started this company, the Working Town, I was very clear that I am not going to entertain any local client. I want to build this company for US clients, and 80% of our clients are right now in US. So your mindset right from the start should be clear that you want to build a global company. You are not working for the local clients, you are not focusing on the local problems. But if you are building a local company based on local problems, then you need to basically build in that way. Your mindset should be clear that okay, I am working in a local ecosystem and I want to resolve the local problem, so I need to build this company in that way that will totally focus on the local side. So the mindset need to be very clear, and you need to basically build that credibility, and credibility can be built only by doing the right work. So once you start delivering the projects, once you start getting the clients for your product, that actually gives you the credibility, nothing else. If you are doing marketing, you are talking a lot of things, but eventually you eventually couldn't be able to win any client, it means that your credibility is still at zero. Might be you are very good, you are a great tech guy, but if you are unable to sell, if your product is not being validated by market, you need to understand that credibility will be only built once you actually convert your idea into a sales and revenue based idea. And then last point is important, that scale smart, not fast. That is one of the things that really helped me a lot. That rather than going for everything at a fast scale, you need to understand the what exactly you want to sell, what exactly are your competitors doing in the market, and how you basically need to work in a smart way that you can outbid your competitor. So that is very important, that you need to understand that in which niche you want to work, and what type of competition you have in that niche, and how you can differentiate in that niche, so that you can basically build a smart startup rather than working hard, try to build in a fast track and eventually not getting success in that. So the differentiation between those who make it and those who don't, the one who make it never stop pushing forward. So that is some of the ideas I can share with you. Then there are three books that are my favorite books. I will also recommend you that you need to read it. One is Rich Dad Poor Dad. It will give you a very good perspective that how the rich people think and how your mindset need to be trained. Then the second book is Focus. It actually gives you a very great idea that why the daily distraction are taking you away from your goals. And then Zero to One by Peter Thiel is also one of my favorite book, that actually share you a lot of idea that okay, how you can move from zero to one. So that is the toughest thing, that if you are at zero right now, how you can move that needle and take your company to the one side. So at the last, if I share with you a quote, that is, there are no shortcut, no one will hand it to you, but if you believe hard enough and show up long enough, you will win. So that's what I actually did. That rather than giving up, try to show up every day, try to do whatever you want to do rather than just being hit by the distractions and feel that okay, I just tried but I couldn't be able to do. So you just start up motivated and start doing working on another idea. So those type of thing is actually taking you away. So you need to understand it's a long journey, it's a marathon, it's not a shortcut that you are going to get success within 2 months, 3 months. So you need to understand that okay, you have to show up yourself daily, start doing what exactly taking you moving forward, and that's how you actually win. So that's all from my side. If you have any question, anything, you are most welcome, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. If you have any question, I am happy to answer those.
थैंक यू सो मच उस्मान फॉर टेलिंग अस अबाउट योर जर्नी स्पेशली ये जो पार्ट होता है ना फेलियर का दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर स्टार्टअप्स इन पाकिस्तान टू अंडरस्टैंड कि फेलियर इज़ योर पाथवे टू सक्सेस इट इज़ नेवर गोना बी कि आप पहला अपना स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करो और आप उसी में सक्सेसफुल हो जाए फेलियर इज़ योर पाथवे जो फर्स्ट स्टेप है टू becoming a successful entrepreneur to becoming a successful startup founder is failure. So आपका जर्नी बिल्कुल जैसे स्टार्ट हुआ you started with your first startup जो आपका ट्रैवल कंपनी का था and then you failed in that वहां से आपकी लैंडिंग हुई and then you pivoted you completely changed your whole startup idea और आप एक और न्यू ट्रांजिशन करके सैप के अंदर चले गए and जो आपका इंडस्ट्री एक्सपीरियंस था अब यहाँ पे वो स्पेसिफिकली बात आ जाती है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्रैवलिंग जो चीज़ आपका अपना एक्सपीरियंस है जो आपने खुद से अपनी ज़िंदगी में किया हुआ है उस चीज़ को आपने अपनी बेसिस बना के अपने जो है ना नेक्स्ट बिजनेस की तरफ लेके गए अपने नेक्स्ट स्टार्टअप की तरफ लेके गए एंड दैट बिकेम अ ह्यूज सक्सेस फॉर यू सो फेलियर जब तक नहीं होगा तब तक आई थिंक देयर इज नो point in keeping your startup live and just going कि आप रिस्क ना लो फेलियर को और आप जो है ना चाहो कि आपका एक सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप बन जाए एंड देन आइडेंटिफाइंग द मार्केट्स इज आल्सो एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप जिस किस्म की मार्केट पे जाना चाहते हो अगेन आपका माइंडसेट आपकी कंपनी आपकी हायरार्की आपकी एक एक चीज़ उसके अकॉर्डिंगली डिफाइन होनी चाहिए इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर द यूएस मार्केट तो आपकी सारी चीज़ें उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अलाइन होंगी अगर आप लोकल मार्केट्स में काम कर रहे हो तो आपकी सारी चीज़ें उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अलाइन होंगी And then I really like this one specific line जो आपने कहा fail fast. That is amazingly good. जब तक आप fail नहीं again जब तक fail नहीं करते तब तक there is no point of it and जब तक आप fail नहीं करते तो आपका pathway clear नहीं होता. Usman, I do have a few questions from you. हम लोगों ने idea validation की बात की, right? So how important it is and what would be the steps for a startup जो global markets में काम करना चाहता है local market में उसकी पूरी टीम बैठी हुई है सारी operations उसके यहाँ से idea validation वो किस तरह से कर सकते हैं
देखिए अब तो इट्स वेरी इजी देयर आर सो मैनी नेटवर्क्स अवेलेबल लाइक इवन इफ यू आर सिटिंग इन पाकिस्तान यू कैन यूज लिंक्डइन एंड लिंक्डइन के ऊपर आपको ग्लोबली तमाम अपने क्लाइंट्स उनके सीईओ से लेके पूरी कंपनी के गेट कीपर्स यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट आपका सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज तो ये कि आप जो भी करने जा रहे हो सबसे पहले आपको अपनी आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल पता होनी चाहिए कि आप किस कस्टमर को सेल करना चाह रहे हो लाइक अगर आपको उसके एट्रीब्यूट्स ही नहीं पता तो फिर इवेंचुअली आप अपनी वैलिडेशन भी गलत लोगों से करवा लेते हो और फिर उस वैलिडेशन माइट भी वो वैलिडेट चीज हुई हो लेकिन वो एक्चुअल कस्टमर्स और आपकी एक्चुअल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल से मैच ही नहीं कर रहे थे तो वो दैट वैलिडेशन मेक नो सेंस एंड नो कंट्रीब्यूशन फॉर यू सो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये कि आपको ये पता हो कि आपकी आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल क्या है लाइक इन ओवर केस वी क्लियरली नो दैट वी आर वर्किंग फॉर यूएस बेस्ड स्टार्टअप्स who have $1 million of funding, who have built a product in ERP vertical. So these three attributes, if the check is okay, it means it is a good ideal customer and we can go to him, we can just send a message to him on the LinkedIn and tell him that, okay, I just need your 5 minutes. Even if you don't have 5 minutes, this is a pitch I am working on. I just need your validation based on that. What you think? I am working on the right track or you think that this is not the pain you are actually facing because अगर आप कोई पेन पॉइंट नहीं पिक कर पा रहे तो अल्टीमेटली आपको सक्सेस मिलना बड़ा मुश्किल है क्योंकि अगर आप किसी क्लाइंट के पेन पॉइंट को टच कर रहे हो और वो एक्चुअल पेन पॉइंट वैलिडेट कर रहा है क्लाइंट के हाँ ये पेन पॉइंट ही हमें है लाइक हमारे केस में हम जब भी किसी स्टार्टअप के पास जाते हैं हम उसको क्लैरिटी से बताते हैं कि यार आप जब भी किसी लार्ज एंटरप्राइज के पास जाओगे वो लोग एसएपी यूज कर रहे होंगे तो आपको अल्टीमेटली एसएपी से इंटीग्रेट करवाना पड़ेगा, वरना वो लार्ज एंटरप्राइज की प्रोडक्ट यूज ही नहीं करेगा, इवन दो दैट इज वेरी गुड एआई बेस्ड एवरीथिंग यू हैव डन इन दैट प्रोडक्ट, बट फॉर देम, फॉर देयर एंटरप्राइज रिपोर्टिंग दे यूज देयर ओन ERP, that can be either SAP, Oracle or Microsoft. So वो इंटीग्रेशन जब तक नहीं होगी, कोई एंटरप्राइज क्लाइंट आपकी प्रोडक्ट यूज नहीं करेगा. एंड दैट्स हाउ वी हेल्प देम टू विन $1 million कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स विद लार्ज एंटरप्राइज. ओके, देयर प्रोडक्ट इज वैलिडेटेड, they have integrated with SAP, and now enterprise is ready to take their products moving forward. So validation बड़ा आसान काम है, लेकिन उससे पहले बहुत से steps हैं जो आपको खुद अपनी साइट पे करने हैं कि आप कर क्या रहे हो, उसके आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल क्या है. उस आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल को आप लिंक्डइन के ऊपर सर्च करो, अराउंड 100 कंपनीज आपने सर्च कर लिया, ये 100 कंपनीज मेरी आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल है. नाउ ट्राई टू सी दैट हु आर द डिसीजन मेकर देयर. आपको अंडरस्टैंड करना चाहिए कि कुछ कंपनीज में आप जो प्रोडक्ट लेके जा रहे हो वो सीटीओ डिसीजन ले रहा होगा, कुछ जगह पे सीईओ डिसीजन ले रहा होगा, कुछ जगह पे सीएफओ डिसीजन ले रहा होगा. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपके केस में डिसीजन मेकर्स कौन है उस कंपनी में. Then you need to contact him on the LinkedIn. You can use cold emailing as well, and you just have a friendly conversation with them. Don't try to sell anything. Just try to make a friendly conversation with them and tell them, I need your 5 minutes. If you can just review this pitch and let me know that I am working on the right direction or not. So if out of 100, 60 people are saying that it is exactly the pain point, you are good to go. But if you feel that you are getting 20 validation out of 100, it means 80% clients are not ready to buy this product or the services.
That is very good. That is very good. जो market validation का idea आपने बताया, especially for reaching out to international market, I think this is something जो काफ़ी ज़्यादा startups miss कर जाते हैं, और market validation को वो सिर्फ जो एक product को market में फेंकना समझते हैं. They just send out their services, send out their products in the marketing, say कि यार it's not working out, right? So failure is important, but also आपकी testing और जो आपकी product validation है वो जब तक properly नहीं होगी तब तक you won't know कि आपका failure हो किस जगह पर है, and then you cannot pivot, or you then cannot move forward from that. I have another question from you. How do you see emerging technologies like AI and machine learning influencing the startup ecosystem? Along with that, how can startups use these technologies to become more resilient?
Yeah, definitely. They can, being a startup, we need to understand that what exactly are the trends in the market and what exactly the technology people would like to invest on. And moving forward, you know that it's the AI era, and for next 2 years, it will remain AI era. But in AI, you also need to understand there are different type of vertical. So like initially we were talking about generative AI, and we are talking about chat GPT and those type of solution. Then came the predictive AI that actually help you to predict the future based on the data. And now I can clearly see that for next 2 year it is going to be focused on the agentive AI. So you need to understand that AI based agents are now going to take over all over the world. And this is what I see, that every technology starts from USA then move towards the side. So you can clearly see that agentic AI is taking over within, not taking months or year. It's now you will see this progress within weeks as well. And I see that in US now almost 80% of companies are already adopted this agentic AI. And even some small startups are now utilizing these agents that can help them in their sales. So what exactly is going to happen now in future, you will have AI agents and a company with, you can say, 2 GTM engineer and have 30 plus AI agents are going to become a unicorn without having those 400 500 peoples. And that concept is pretty much, I have seen that in the in live way, that how these concept actually converted into reality in US, and how companies are using now, rather than having a complete Salesforce team, they just have a one sales AI agent. Instead of having a complete DevOps team, they have just one DevOps AI agent that is taking care of their 20 servers. एंड दैट सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज ये है कि एक तो उसको रात को नींद भी नहीं आती, उसकी कोई दादी अम्मा वगैरह भी नहीं फोत होती, वो उसे छुट्टी भी नहीं चाहिए होती, तो वो आपके लिए हर वक्त काम कर रहा है और इस लेवल पे काम कर रहा है कि आपके 20 सर्वर्स की कंपनी
हम्म,
है और उसमें किसी एक सर्वर में या एक वेबसाइट डाउन हुई है, उसने खुद उसको आइडेंटिफाई किया है, उसको उसकी रेमेडी क्या करनी है, वो स्क्रिप्ट भी उसने खुद लिखा और
हम्म,
उसको एग्जीक्यूट करके आपको एक ईमेल कर दी और स्लैक पे आपको मैसेज आ गया कि जी ये रात को 2 बजे एरर आया था, इसको
हम्म,
मैंने ये चीजें स्टेप करके करेक्ट कर दिया एंड योर वेबसाइट इज अप एंड रनिंग. So those
हम्म,
type of things are now happening. Your complete sales,
हम्म,
ये जो सेल्स एआई एजेंट मैंने वहां पे देखा, वो आपके आपकी आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल को खुद सर्च करता
हम्म,
है, उसके साथ 7 से लेके 70 टच पॉइंट्स बिल्ड करता है,
हम्म,
उनको मैसेज करता है, कनेक्शन करता है, आपकी उनसे मीटिंग सेट करवाता है और आपके कैलेंडर में आके वो मीटिंग रख
हम्म,
देता है कि ओके दिस इज योर पोटेंशियल क्लाइंट. मैंने उसकी पूरी वर्किंग करके एक पर्सनलाइज पर्सोना ईमेल भी कर दी उसको, कोल्ड कॉलिंग भी कर दी, और कोल्ड कॉलिंग के बाद उसके साथ आपकी मीटिंग सेट हुई है, आप अगले दिन सुबह उठे हो, आपको पता है यार 10 बंदों के साथ मेरी मीटिंग सेट है जो
हम्म,
मेरे पोटेंशियल क्लाइंट्स है, आई जस्ट हैव टू नाउ कन्विंस देम एंड मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. सो दोज
हम्म,
टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स आर नाउ कमिंग एंड पाकिस्तान में भी वो चीज़ें नहीं है, लेकिन eventually it will come because it will make a business use case. आप किसी भी बिजनेस
हम्म,
वाले बंदे से पूछेंगे तो वो कहेगा यार अगर मुझे $50 पर मंथ के ऊपर एक एआई एजेंट मिल सकता है तो मुझे 50 बंदे रखने की क्या जरूरत है, मेरे लिए तो ये बिजनेस यूज केस है.
हम्म,
और वो बंदा 24 आवर्स मेरे लिए काम भी कर रहा है, रात को सो भी नहीं रहा और एवरीथिंग इज वर्किंग स्मूथली. तो ये eventually it will come in Pakistan, might be it will
हम्म.
take a little longer, but right now we
You
need to,
know,
this is the trend.
Interesting fact, we already have a startup onboarded by the name of Vane.ai, and they have this product ready and it's already tested, trial and tested. They're working with, I think, a few local telecom communications companies, as well as now they're reaching out to MENA region. They want to expand over there. So they
Right.
recently incubated in our cohort 5, and let's see where they are when they graduate. But yeah, you're 100% right that this is something we need to be ready for. This is something we need to pivot our models if we have to, especially call centers or companies which are mostly reliant on the basic tasks which now AI can do. So we need to pivot from that. One more question. I know our time is almost up. Just a few more questions, then we'll be good to go. Uh, so for the startups which are just starting out, for startups which have their product ready, what are some of the major AI integrations you would suggest to them to become more resilient? And what are the basic products or basic services which you would recommend to stay away from, especially because AI is taking over? As you said, that customer service whole departments are being taken over by AI. So, what are the things which our startups, based on technology, based on deep tech, can adapt and can integrate AI into their systems?
Sure. The first thing I would like to share with you is that you again need to understand what exactly is your strong point. If you are not good in AI, you don't need to embed everything in AI. You need to understand that okay, AI is not for everyone. What exactly happened? We just follow a buzzword and we start following that thing, even though that's not our strength. So in the working town right now, we are working in ERP space. We are not doing anything related to AI. In fact, we help AI agents integrate with SAP, but we are not building AI agents or anything related to AI. But we are really scaling up fast without working on AI vertical. So it is very important to understand that AI is not for everyone. And if you have your strength in whatever vertical, be it ERP, be it machine learning, be it data science, be it analytics, you need to build that vertical in your product and you need to work on that vertical rather than just following the buzzword that okay now everyone is following AI so I have to follow AI. So that is number one thing. Number two thing, definitely again whatever you are building, whatever industry you are going to target, try to validate rather than build. सो मैंने जो अपनी एक्सपीरियंस में देखा है कि बहुत से स्टार्टअप सिर्फ इस वजह से फेल हो जाते हैं कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम अपनी प्रोडक्ट को एक परफेक्ट मॉडल में कन्वर्ट करने में और डिज़ाइन करने में डेवलप करने में लगा देते हैं. बट सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप क्या करते हैं, वो विद इन 3 मंथ्स एक स्मॉल सा प्रोटोटाइप रेडी करेंगे and they will go to market and see how the market respond and then eventually build that, and might be they need to pivot their idea and they then have that time or again कंसेप्ट वही है कि जितनी जल्दी फेल हो जाओ उतना बेहतर है। किसी एक वर्टिकल को उठाया, उसको इंडस्ट्री में एक दफा बिल्कुल स्मॉल प्रोटोटाइप, इवन इफ यू हैव आइडिया, ट्राई टू वैलिडेट दैट आइडिया फर्स्ट, and once your first prototype is ready, go to market and test it, that how market will respond you, then you need to actually keep making it perfect। लेकिन ये एक बहुत बड़ी गलती होगी कि आप स्टार्ट में सिर्फ बिल्ड 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 कर रहे हैं और आप मार्केट से बिल्कुल आउट हैं, आप मार्केटिंग भी अपनी चीज़ की नहीं कर रहे, आप राइट लोगों के साथ कनेक्ट नहीं है, आप उनकी फीडबैक नहीं ले रहे, तो दैट इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू गिव यू लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स लेटर ऑन।
That one advice you would give to inspiring entrepreneurs looking to make a market in the tech space, especially in local and international markets?
Uh, your voice, well, can you please repeat this question?
Gigi, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to make a mark in enterprise tech space in local and global markets?
So, number one advice is that believe in yourself, believe in your idea, and don't try to chase or follow someone else's journey. Always try to write your own playbook. You need to understand that every individual is unique. If Taha is working in some vertical, he has expertise in that. He will be more happy and more passionate if he is working on something he has strength about. Same is my journey will be altogether different from Taha. I have different strengths. I have built some strengths which were initially my weakness. So you need to understand that it is only you who understand better that what exactly are your strengths, and if you couldn't be able to figure out what you are good at and what you are bad at, then eventually it is not going to work. And initially you need to understand that sales is very important for any startup. If you don't learn how to sell, you are not going to succeed. So if you are a good techie guy, you are not good in sales, another option is that you bring a co-founder who is good at sales and complement each other's skill set, rather than, definitely one man can't do everything. You need to have complement your skills, that okay, I am good at that, I am weak at that area, so I need a co-founder who can basically complement my weakness and make us a perfect combo, rather than you both are good in tech and you both started together and eventually no one knows how to say, and eventually you are going to fail.
Thank you so much, Usman. It was really interesting knowing about your whole journey, and the Q&A session was also really great. If you guys have any question, you can directly reach out to Usman. I'm sharing his information on the slide.